You're good.
Okay, thanks. Good morning, everyone. It's a convening of the Massachusetts Gaming Commission today. We hold these meetings virtually often, and so we will do our roll call. Good morning, Commissioner O'Brien.
Good morning, I'm here.
Good morning, Commissioner Hill.
Good morning, I'm here.
Good morning, Commissioner Skinner.
Good morning.
And good morning, Commissioner Maynard.
Good morning.
Right. Going to get started. Today is December 20th. It's Wednesday. We're holding our agenda setting meeting number 159, and I want to wish everybody happy holidays and the best for 2024. We're looking forward to our holiday gathering after this, and just want to commend all the elves that were down there this morning making converting our public meeting room into a pretty festive venue. So thank you so much. Going to go right to you, Commissioner Maynard, on minutes, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Have a couple sets today to bring us current on the agenda setting.
Just 1 second. One interruption. Marianne has found the picture. We're all set. Thank you so much. She was bringing it in for me for water. So sorry to the public. We were looking for our coffee water pitcher. My apologies. Commissioner Maynard, back to you. Serious business.
Crisis averted. So we have a couple set of minutes that brings us current on the agenda setting. Madam Chair, I move that the Commission approve the minutes from the November 20th, 2023 and the December 6th, 2023 agenda setting meetings that are included in the Commissioner's packet, subject to any necessary corrections for typographical errors or other non-material matters.
Second. Thank you. Did everyone have a chance to read them? Okay, good. And thank you, Commissioner Maynard, and to the team behind does all the work with you. All right. No edits. Thank you for the second, Commissioner Skinner. Commissioner O'Brien.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Skinner.
Aye.
And Commissioner Maynard.
Aye.
All right. And I vote yes, 5-0. Thank you. We're going to turn then to item 3 on our agenda. That's our agenda planning. We have the meeting schedule right now. It follows the cadence that we're familiar with. If there are needs for additional meetings, we know we're all flexible and nimble, and we can add in to get stuff done. I'm going to start on January 4th, beginning the new year with April public meeting, and we'll be turning to initiative update. Good morning, Todd.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. So there are 2 items that are already listed there. We can certainly keep those 2 on. I'm not 100% sure we'll be prepared to talk about the lease, but I think we can plan on that anyway. There are 2 other issues that we have available to talk about as well that I thought I would just mention. One is the gaming conference that Mark Vanderlyn has talked about previously, scheduled for May of 2024 that we'd like to offer an update on. And then we thought it would be helpful to offer an update on the cashless wagering regulations and the plan. And Carrie Teresi would be prepared to talk about that on the 4th if that would be helpful.
Perfect. Given the holidays, if you, Carrie, and Mark could send over bullets describing how you'd like that for the agenda, that would be really helpful to me. I'm understanding probably it's the 2 of you who present. And then Todd, if you just can confirm what you'd like for the agenda on the other 2, that would be great. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. So that will be a full administrative update. We're going to turn then to minutes. Commissioner Maynard, I've got a few dates in there now.
Yeah, we're going to finish up March, and actually I have reviewed a set from April, or I have a set to review from April in my inbox.
So we've got down March 27th, March 30th, and April 6th. Does that sound pretty right?
Yes. I think there's one other set from March, by the way, just in full disclosure, that's going to take a little more time, but Judy's working on those.
But for January 4th, we're going to be good with just those 3, right? No more. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, Commissioner Hill. Legislative update, what we have outstanding, of course, is the letter that Todd introduced. Should we plan on reviewing that?
Yes,
Anything else?
no,
Commissioners, are you going to be all right with that?
Yep.
Everyone all set? You'll have had a chance to review it. Commissioner Hill, anything else we need to ask of people to?
I don't think so.
I think that would include anything new as well, if there was anything omitted. All right, good. Okay, regulations. Back to you, Todd, and you're wearing your other hat.
Yeah, I'm not, do we have any regulations for the 4th?
I can jump in there. We don't anticipate having any regulations for the 4th, no.
Okay, thank you. So sports wagering, Bruce, I saw Andrew and I'm reminded that we had an outstanding issue on the fanatics matter, right?
Yes.
That request for a void, we wanted further information to look at how the difference between the facts between that one and the earlier first non-compliance matter.
Yes, that will be on the agenda.
For January 4th, you'll be all set.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we also have house rules for DraftKings and Fanatics.
Okay.
And then one for a request to reduce hours at the call center for WinBet, which Crystal will be presenting.
Can I know there's a lot on everyone's plate, but if you could send me the language and who you anticipate presenting and any guests to me,
Yes.
because we want to kind of wrap this up by the end of the week, so I don't have to impose on folks next week. So thanks.
Of course.
Could I just ask for clarification on the Fanatics matter? My understanding from the last meeting was that was going to IEB for sort of the standard short form report that then comes to the commission for the commission to decide how to move forward. If that's not the case, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
I think that the way I felt we left it, and commissioners correct me if I'm wrong, is we learned of their request for the void, but there was I think I raised the question initially that I wondered how it compared factually with the first non-compliance violation that we actually issued a decision on. And if what you're saying, Caitlin, is we're going to do that in the IEB report, I thought we were going to get additional information in a public meeting forum, but I'm not sure if that's necessarily critical distinction. Commissioner O'Brien?
So I think procedurally, we're all saying the same thing. I think if it expedites it to have it included in IEB's summary to us, that might be the faster way to go. One less thing on the agenda, one less thing for Bruce to have to worry about on the 4th.
That's fine.
Okay, I just think that won't be ready for the 4th. That would
No, but then it just goes straight over to you guys, but you'll incorporate the information and we can just, yeah.
Sorry, Chair, I just wanted to.
I am curious about the distinction, though, I must admit. So I'm. But
Chair, can I just pop in really quickly? We actually will be ready. DAC is working on a summary report, as we have done with the previous matters. So if the commission would like that, then that could be ready for the 4th.
The only thing I would point out is I am out of the office until the 3rd. So I don't know if anybody else is in that situation too. So putting it on the next meeting date would be helpful for me right after the 4th.
Well, that's kind of a little tough. That's a new announcement, Commissioner O'Brien, because we've had these matters, substantive matters, planned for January 4th all along. So if you're saying
So, well,
that,
just so we're clear, I'm always out that week, and so I won't be back until it's one
I think-
extra day.
think
So
many
what
of us
all I'm
are-
saying is on that particular one, I didn't realize we were getting Fanatics substantively that day. So I'm just asking on that particular one.
okay, I think many team members and commissioners will be taking time next week. And I'm pleased because last year it was a different challenge. So, so in terms of Zach's report, Caitlin and Heather, that will come to us and that will address the issue that I raised about the difference. And then it would go into an adjudicatory hearing and we will not return to the public meeting, or can you remind me of the?
No.
I think
No.
it's just an update, actually, from, you know, what we've done in the normal course is provide that summary report and then provide an update to the commission at a public meeting, and then the commission can decide how they wish to proceed. That's been how we've done it. And I think that's what we were expecting to do. You know, we can certainly do whatever the commission.
And thank
Like-
you. That's prompting my memory, Caitlin, because I think we had a little bit of, a couple of commissioners thought, oh, you know, it's sort of very, very straightforward. If I recall correctly, that the issue seems so straightforward that maybe it shouldn't go to an adjudicatory hearing. And then I raised the question, like, I wonder how it compares to the original. And then I think Commissioner O'Brien also joined and said, maybe we want more information on that to make sure we're treating the entities equally. So I
Yeah,
don't
so
think we made a
I-
decision yet to go to an adjudicatory.
Oh, see, I thought we had, I mean, I had come out of the gate saying it should be treated the same, even if it can be done expeditiously. And that part of the presentation would include how the others had been done. I thought we were treating them the same and had
I'm
already
fine.
decided to go adjudicatory.
I'm fine with that too. I just want to make sure the other.
Yeah,
the
I don't know how
others
everyone
who
else's
thought it
memory,
was more
but just to
straightforward.
clear, that's where I had come from.
I'm hearing you, Commissioner O'Brien, but I'm thinking of my fellow commissioners because a few of you said this is pretty straightforward. Maybe it doesn't need to go to an adjudicatory hearing. So I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Commissioner Skinner, I recall your comment particularly.
Yeah, I was in that camp, but I was reminded that we had a similar incident, and I think for me, I'm going to need those questions answered that we identified at the last meeting. So I don't think it will hurt to have IEB do their write-up as they have done for all of the other matters we've seen thus far. And I don't think we're precluded from making a decision on that day that it's not something we want to hold an adjudicatory hearing on.
I think that's right, Commissioner Skinner, and because I think we just didn't have all the facts before us at the last one. And Todd, I think you're shaking your hand. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, that's right. And I think we should just make sure we're all on the same page before we move off of this. So my understanding at this point is that for the 18th, the IEB will have its summary report and will present it to the commission. The commission will decide at that point whether to schedule an adjudicatory hearing or to handle it in a different fashion. Is that correct?
Well, I'm hearing the 18th, it was on foot. I was anticipating the 4th. Commissioner O'Brien's asked for more time. I don't think that's necessarily a problem, correct, everybody?
Madam Chair, I would say to that point, they've already, this is different in that there's nothing pending, right, to be handed back. It doesn't matter if it's on the 18th or not. I think
That's right.
they probably want to hear where we're going with this sooner rather than later, but the 18th is fine. And I agree with Commissioner Skinner in that let's see the report and then we'll make a decision on what we want to do that day, but let's treat it as if it's a full-blown hearing until we decide otherwise.
Yeah, I think the
Well-
reg allows us to make that decision. We just didn't quite make that decision because we knew we needed just a little bit more information. So
Yeah, I
we'll
guess
get
we
the
just wanted-
report. We'll get the report. Excuse me, I'm sorry, Todd.
My apologies.
And at that juncture, as we've done in the past, we say, we can settle it then. I know you have the reg much better memorized than me, right? Caitlin, she smiled. We can settle it then, or we can have the adjudicatory hearing, and there's one other choice that I'm forgetting. What is the other one?
You can send it to the IEB for it to work through the process.
Right. So I think that's the juncture, and Commissioner Skinner is reminding me of that as well. And Commissioner Maynard, you're all set then? We're not going to lose any time on it. Does that make sense, Todd?
Yes, I think we're all of the same understanding. So we
Excellent.
can go with that.
Okay, so that will be marked up for the 18th. Thanks, and then Andrew and Bruce, again, I'll just need to be reminded if you
Yeah.
have.
So, Madam Chair, I'm just jumping in. So, just to be clear, so we will need the report to be circulated to the commissioners really as soon as possible, but would that be, Heather, it sounds like possibly available sooner rather than later, by the 4th? Is that where we are?
I think Heather reported that SAC would be ready for the 4th, but didn't necessarily say earlier than that.
Yeah,
Heather?
so if we can get the report around then, I think that will hopefully give the commissioners enough time to be prepared to talk about it on the.
Yeah, that should be good. And I guess at this juncture it would be IEB rather than sports wagering.
Right.
Okay. All right, thanks everyone for that. All right. Okay. So I'm still in sports wagering. We've got the Fanatics matter, the two house rules, the WinBet matter, which Crystal will manage. And do we need any further clarification about that right now from Crystal? Commissioners, do you want to hear anything further about that matter?
It's reduction on time on their call centers.
And given the last week of the year and people's vacation schedules, if there are materials on the House rules or that particular matter, we probably need to get them in sooner rather than later. Is that possible?
I believe Andrew already has them, if I'm not mistaken. Andrew?
I'm sorry, Ty, could you repeat that?
Yeah, just any materials you have for any of the matters we've just discussed. Since people are likely to be on vacation next week and what have you, the sooner we can get those in for the packet, the better.
I think
yep.
for you, Andrew, the House rules on DraftKings and Fanatics are the two that Bruce would be looking at.
Those two are ready and should be out this week. And then I believe the Fanatics matters with Zach. I'm working with Zach on just a couple questions.
Yeah, great.
Madam Chair, I'm gonna ask that we extend that request to all of the items that we are reviewing on January 4th. The sooner the better. And it's quite all right to send those materials to commissioners, at least this commissioner directly, rather than going to Trudy. I'm not sure what Trudy's vacation schedule is, but as soon as the documents are ready, I'd like to see them just so that I can fit them into my holiday schedule.
That's really a good reminder. And if everybody could just, while they send them to the commissioners, please include Trudy and me, rather than, I assume you're going to send them to all the commissioners, because that's going to really help Trudy with the pack compilation. So
yeah, and Commissioner Skinner, I am available next week, so they can definitely send it to me, and I'll make sure you guys get it as soon as possible or right away.
Thanks, Trudy.
Yep.
Okay. All right, then I think that's it for sports wagering, Bruce.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, excellent. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. Okay, and then had a chance to speak with Caitlin and Heather about the beginning of the reporting on the process for temporary licensure. And on the 4th, we're anticipating just a really, really brief overview to be rolled out in more detail on the 18th. And it will cover Penn's outstanding request around durable suitability and what we can expect on that, the temporary licensure process and what that will look like, including a timeline. And then I think Caitlin, some kind of timeline on the suitability. So this will be kind of a 3-prong report for the 18th. Is that going to still work for you, Caitlin? And Heather, I know you're transitioning with Caitlin nicely.
Yeah, that will work for the, like you said, Chair, sort of a short couple-minute overview of the temp license process on the 4th, and then a more fulsome report on the 18th regarding both the temporary license process and the timeline for durable suitability.
And Caitlin, given that we're approaching the end of the year, I'd also ask that you and licensing division and sports wagering division work to prepare that. In connection with that update, an administrative update on the 2 operators that were awarded untethered Category 3 licenses that have not yet commenced operation. So that would be, as a reminder, the operators of Volleyball and DGC that way. I actually would love that to be part of the January 4th update, just where those, because it's beginning of the new year, it'd be good to give everybody, including the public, an update. Okay,
That's good.
thanks. So that would just be part of January 4th's high level. Okay. Then turning to, I think we have Long too. And Mark on item number 7, reinstatement process for DSE.
That's right. Long and I are working on materials for the meeting. We'll have those definitely well in advance, and we'll be ready for the meeting.
Great. Looking forward to that. Okay. Heather and Caitlin on the IEB report on Encore's floor expansion.
That will be ready for the 4th. Sorry.
So is it Caitlin?
Yep. That will be ready for the 4th.
Great. And we got Lewis and Burke involved. Excellent, thank you. And I don't know if there's any documents for that, but again, you've heard, and all of us are requesting everything as soon as possible in practice. Then we have the diversity audit, Commissioner Skinner. And-
That will be ready for the 4th.
Okay. Thank you. And then Commissioner O'Brien had a chance to speak, and we thought that for the 4th, we'll keep this kind of a narrow issue on the really good idea around the seal. I mean, I'm imposing my personal opinion. The concept of using a seal of licensure for our sports wagering operators. Commissioner O'Brien will take the lead on that. I think you will probably check in with Tom Mills about that. I know he's got some ideas. So. Okay. And then the next 2 items, those are on the screening committees. First, I'll turn to you, Commissioner O'Brien and Commissioner Maynard, and then Commissioner Skinner and Commissioner Hill.
No, we can give an update. We have our last meeting of this year on tomorrow afternoon. Posting will be down as of close of business today. So.
Okay. And then Commissioner and Commissioner Hill.
We'll be ready to give an update on January 4th.
And we got the thumbs up from your fellow commissioner, Commissioner Skinner. Thanks. Okay. Anything else for January 4th, commissioners first, and then the team? Commissioner Skinner.
I do have something, and whether it goes on the 4th or the 18th, I'll leave that up for discussion, but I think it should get on sooner rather than later. I'd like to revisit the interim ED's authority to discuss and handle personnel matters as they relate to compensation.
Todd?
I'm sorry?
I just was asking Todd because I wondered how he felt about it.
I thought you said, huh?
I think he said, Todd, how do you feel about that? Are you going to be in a position that you want to do that?
Absolutely, yeah, I would be happy to talk about that. I think that might be helpful.
Okay. Anything else?
Madam Chair, I've got an item that was deferred from the last meeting on December 14th. It was a Community Mitigation Fund grant for Springfield, the Safe Ride Home project. Those materials were sent over, but they were pulled from the packet, I think, before the packets went out. I'll resend them just to make sure that that we all have them, but if we could put that on for the 4th.
Yeah.
I will not be here on the 4th, but Mary will be able to handle that.
Okay, great. And my apologies for not rolling that over, Joe. I really appreciate it. It did help us a bit on timing the last meeting. And there might be some additional questions on this one, but this is on the Springfield safe
The Safe Ride Home project.
Safe
Yeah.
Ride Home, yeah. Okay, thank you for that reminder. My apologies. All right, anything else? All set? Todd, all set?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right, then we'll turn to January 18th. We're going to include the Fanatics matter. We'll start with the administrative update.
I don't have anything particular. We can certainly, if the agenda for the 4th gets too long, we might be able to move 1 or 2 of the items on the agenda, the administrative update there over to the 18th, but we can stand by on that for now.
Okay. Meeting minutes, I don't have any dates yet, but that's kind of in the future anyway. You'll get that to me, Commissioner Maynard.
Great.
Thanks. Legislative update, Brad, hopefully the letter will be resolved. Anything else you're thinking of? Okay, just, do you want to keep it on for a placeholder? Okay. Sports wagering, can we anticipate anything for the 18th yet?
Yes, I do have one thing. Christian has told me he would be ready for the 90-day audit.
Okay, I know I just skipped regulations. I'm going to go back. So the 90-day audit, and
Yes.
you're in coordination with Katrina as well, Forrest and Todd.
Yes, and I'm sure by then we might have some other house rules or something like that by the 18th.
Yeah. Have in between the agenda setting meeting on the 10th, Bruce, okay?
Yes.
All right. Back up to regulations. I know you have a few. My apologies for skipping that inadvertently. Carrie?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. We do have 3 regulations for the 18th. We will have 205 CMR 16, the simulcast regulation, coming for initial review. We will also have 257, the data privacy regulation, coming with some amendments. And then we will have 152, the court-ordered exclusion reg, and that will be coming back for a final vote.
Thanks, Carrie. Do you mind when you get a chance, the 18th, it's a little bit, but in terms of getting the agenda together, just sending that compilation.
Of course.
Thank you. All right. Then we're going to the non-compliance issue and the process. We really look carefully at that, and I'm recommending that we concentrate first on category 1 to get that in place so that Director Ban will have that guidance, and would like to have that discussion again on the 18th. Commissioners, how do you feel about that? It was a well thought out proposal, but there were a couple of questions that rose about items that were even included in category 1. So I think it merits a good discussion, and like to take action so that Director Band is in a good spot. What do you think? Todd, are you leaning in?
No, I'm just.
I can only read the room by the lights of the boxes, so.
I know my register keeps going off. It's setting off the box, but no, I wasn't.
Any commissioners, are you comfortable with that? Does that sound like a good plan, Commissioner Skinner?
Yes.
Thanks.
Can I just jump in? If the commission agrees, I think it would make sense to sort of, as you noted, sort of bring back the policy regarding the group 1, but also to set out the process by which group 2s or 3s sort of move through. Obviously not the same thing that you saw last time, but just, even in this conversation this morning about, what's the process, who does it go to, how does it come to the commission, what decisions are made. I think it would be helpful if that was nailed down for the future. So I'd propose adding that into the proposal as well.
I appreciate that, but I really want to keep it just category 1 for right now, because I think category 2 and 3 introduce some complexities about even the reg itself. Caitlin, that I'd love, and I think I had this discussion with Todd, that we all need to understand that the reg which we approved has a certain process that has implications for category 2 and 3 treatment on your policy. So I'm trying to create an efficiency for category 1 that's most important, and then have a little bit more, if we could just maybe do it in the next meeting. I'm not trying to delay it at all, but just
Sure.
get stuff done. That makes sense, commissioners? You okay with that? All right, Eileen is nodding her head too. Okay, good, thanks. Okay. And returning to, so we'll have on the 4th, the Springfield community mitigation matter on Safe Ride. Commissioner O'Brien, just noting that for your purposes, because I know you're a little bit concerned about the January 4th agenda. That's a little bit in public safety space. I just wanted to note that's that community mitigation matter. So, okay, you're all right with that one being on. And then on the 18th, I think Bonnie is all set. There you are, Dr. Andrews, on the public safety report.
Yes, we're all set for the public safety report presentation on the 18th.
That's going to be great. Thank you. And you'll send me that topic with all who's going to be speaking, please. Thanks.
Yes.
All right. I know Director Van Linden, you are thinking you'll be ready for that discussion on the 18th. We'll keep it on. He's smiling.
That's well said. Yes, I think I'll be ready. I'm organizing the responses to a request for information, and should be prepared to share that with the commission on the 18th.
Okay, great. Any other items for the 18th besides the fanatics that we're adding, and then we've already discussed? Anything that you can predict to the commissioners or the team? All right. Let's go to February 1st. Right now, it's pretty lean, starting off the new month. We'll have an administrative update. We'll have minutes. We'll keep legislative update on. Are we anticipating regs?
We may have a couple of regs for the 1st, but if I could follow up with details at the next agenda setting, that would be helpful.
Okay, great, thank you. And then sports wagering the same?
Yes.
Okay. So that brings us into February, and now for items under review. We'll keep the ILAB process, review process.
Yes, yep.
Commissioner O'Brien. Item number 2.
You can stay under review for now. I think we can get some movement on it after the 1st of the year.
Okay. And then Commissioner Skinner and Brown on the HCA.
Yeah, that's still ongoing.
Okay. And I think I made the correction that Andrew's working on the vet restriction. I think you're getting close.
Yes, it's still under review though. Thank you.
Okay. And then the treatment of confidential information. I'm not really sure exactly what that item is going to roll out to be, and maybe we should just get a little clarification on what you're thinking about. I don't know, commissioners, if you're better informed, but Todd and Crystal.
Yeah, this one is apropos of the legislative conversation we had last week. In the sports wagering space, there are very limited tools other than the public records law exemptions at our disposal to attempt to withhold any sensitive information that may come in that sports wagering space. And this was intended just to be an opportunity for a discussion about that and how we're going about navigating it. It has presented some challenges. And just so everyone is aware of how it's going. I think that's really all it is. I don't know if there's a direct ask per se, but maybe Crystal, if you have anything to add, please feel free.
I think that's right. I'm not certain we're ready. I don't know what date we'd be ready at this time. I'm working with Monica on that and we're looking through everything we had. So we want to come to the commission with what exactly we'd asked for and where the challenges are. So we think we need a little bit more time, but it is a bit more of just an informational update on that particular reporting component that we're struggling with. So
Okay, that's helpful.
I'll definitely bring that back in the new year, but we need a little bit more time.
Yeah, really helpful, thanks. Then they're separated by the annual report, but we'll keep the updates on for both screening committees on under review, just as a ongoing matter, right? Okay, and then the annual report, I'm working with Mills. I know I owe some review, but it's in very good shape. So a lot of credit to Mills, Dave, and Grace. Then we have item number 9. There we are, Dr. Lightbound.
Yes, we'll keep that under review too, please.
Okay. I think item number 10 is a repeat, so I can take that out. And then item number 11, I think I actually intended to take 10 off because 11 is different. Joe, last time we spoke, you were waiting for documentation maybe from EBH?
Yeah, I had a conversation with Jackie a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about getting some kind of a schedule from them on what to be doing. I've not seen that yet. I will follow up before the holidays and just see where that stands. But just one little update is MIPA. I've been in contact with the folks at MIPA, and they are expecting that they will render their decision on the project on January 16th. So I think that might precipitate some movement on this whole thing. Once they've sort of gotten their environmental blessing on this, that they'll obviously need our approval. So I think that may the pace may quicken on this fairly quickly.
So you'd like to keep it under review right now?
Yeah. It's until we get an application, it's kind of hard to schedule something.
Yeah. Okay. Is that what it is? It's going to be an application, Joe?
Yeah, the letter that we sent out to them back in July listed out all of the various things that we want to see, plans and, renderings and traffic studies and all of the things that we asked for, and, the status of their negotiations on host and surrounding communities, all of those kinds of things we asked them to provide us information on. So, it's a lengthy list. I think there were 17 items or something like that on the list. So, pulling it together it's not just a formality. I think that there's some work that they need to do that.
Okay, but no, ultimately it's an application of sorts. All right, and then item number 12.
Madam Chair,
sorry.
before we leave at number 11, I'm just curious, Joe, we had sent a letter to the city months ago. Did we ever receive a response back from them at all? We had made some suggestions, just suggestions, and I didn't know if they ever responded to them.
I have not seen anything, no.
Okay.
All right, and item number 12. Caitlin, how do you want to?
Yes, so
You're in a new position, but wondering how we're going to take care of this issue.
absolutely. So that, Carrie will be sort of handling the reg process, but that is in the queue. We do have a plan to bring it up soon. I think February, if memory serves. And so, yeah, I would just say that doesn't necessarily need to be on this part of the list, but we have it in the reg queue for bringing up very quickly.
And who did you say who'll be handling it?
Carrie.
Thank you. Carrie, I thought I heard Carrie's name, but I didn't want to put it there unfairly. All right, good. Thank you. All right. And then I think there's a degree of timeliness on that one, which we can talk about. And then the update on, I'm looking forward to this one, Mark. It's under review. What do you think?
I think we may be able to move that to February 1st.
Oh,
It looks like a good meeting date. I
it
think
is.
it will require sort of some cooperation from Dr. Michael Wall from Carleton University. We've spoken with him about it. He's prepared. I'll circle up with Bonnie and Long and make sure that we're all set. But I think that's far enough out and it looks like a good date.
Sounds good. Okay. Other items for under review, or if you've thought of something that needs to go in front of us on the other dates.
Madam Chair, I do have an item I'd like to add to February 1st, if possible.
Yeah.
So Director Vanderlinden, Dr. Andrews, and I would like to give you a presentation regarding the responsible gaming implications of cashless wagering. So we would sort of anticipate bringing you some information from various studies that identify some of the key issues and concerns, and also identify ways in which regulators might address some of those issues and concerns.
Great. And this will be separate and apart from the update you give us in the administrative update.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, excellent. And that's with Mark and Dr. Andrews. And again, so I'm ways away, but that's the kind of language that I would want to get precise. So thank you.
Of course.
Other items for either a different date or under review.
For under review, we will also have the Q4 reports for sports wagering at a point in late February, probably, or early March. I don't know what those dates are yet, so we would want to put that under.
I thought about keeping that on, but then we don't really do it with the casino one. So thank you but there will be likely.
They're not due to us until February 15th, so probably the later February or early March meeting.
Okay, and it kind of worked out to do 4 and 4. You like that too, Crystal?
I think so. Yeah. If that works for you.
Yeah, you and Trudy can coordinate, see what we can do. Commissioners, I think that seemed like the humane and thoughtful way to manage that. Okay, I say humane because of length of meetings, but also that we can really concentrate. Okay, see Commissioner Hill, thank you. All right, anything else? One thing I'd like to add, and it would be a public meeting that would we can anticipate probably going into executive session is I think it was our last public meeting. No, it was the meetings. I think it was the quarterly reports, Crystal, where we
Sorry, I missed that. I'm answering the chat.
No, that was I referenced. I think it was at the quarterly reports where we learned of the compliance rate around minors using.
Right. Yes, and so I don't know if that's an item you want for under review, or you were planning on doing some sort of roundtable, I think, separately about that, but we can review it.
Well, I was thinking of roundtable, but because they were asking what they were offering, commissioners, if you remember, is that they're offering to have an executive session to go over their technical strategies and tactics they use that they feel enhance their process for investigating suspicious activity around use of an operator that's outside KYC parameters. I'd like to have Judy work with Crystal to maybe get the operators to come in on that. Does that sound like a good idea still? Would you like that? Can I see Commissioner O'Brien shaking her head? And okay, and I don't know if they all need to come in. Some of them volunteered it. I think we're okay leaving that to Crystal's judgment to figure out the operators who wish to participate, but they would have to be probably in succession because they wouldn't want to share with each other, I don't think, their tactics, if I'm guessing right. So that's the only thing. It would be a series of in and out as opposed to a round table feeling that sometimes we get everybody together, even in executive session, but one of these.
Well, I'm actually wondering if Crystal should have some conversations, because my guess is that there are certain measures they all take that are across the board. So it may be that they designate one or two to make that sort of general presentation to us. And then if there's particulars beyond that, they can come in, seriatim.
That's right.
That's exactly what I was gonna offer. I think they give us lots of information, so it's just a matter of how to put the construct together best for you. Do you have a time frame you're looking at for this so that I can try to work with them on that? Or I presume you want it before these quarterly reports come back, because then you'll have some construct?
I'm going to turn to Commissioner Maynard, because you were asking the questions initially, and they did seem to want to be helpful.
Yeah, I think having it before the quarterly report makes a lot of sense. I think it makes a lot of sense to engage in this, to level set, for us to know exactly where they are today, so we can then see, where the gap is between what we're hearing, and Commissioner Hill did a really good job of articulating that too, versus where they are. I would say, Crystal, and the reason I took my mic off, one of the operators had significantly more, still not a lot, but significantly more positive cases than the others. I would be interested in hearing what they're doing and how they're finding people.
Yes, we've been actually looking, it's partially, I think we got into this a little bit last time. It's partially due to the reporting and the ambiguity around that. So we've been looking into reporting definitions and how we work all that out and how to revise that too. So that's all part of this. Not necessarily, I don't think we're seeing one operator report significantly more than another by what we've asked. It just, they're all doing it a little differently. So that's a huge component of this.
Yeah, but if somebody's doing 5 or 6 and somebody's doing 0, that's 6 times more, right? So that's
So we're making sure that reporting though for you guys looks the same across the board too, because some are saying, here's what we've identified as a maybe and others aren't. So that's why you're seeing 0s versus 5s, so, but definitely we want to know that. So I think that on the other end, I'd be interested, I don't know how you would want to go about that, but we want to know what you guys are looking for in that too, but this will help us get there. We've been looking into this a lot, so I'm thinking a little bit earlier so we can work on that aspect too.
Yeah, it will take some coordination on your part, Crystal, so the best that you can do to arrange for date. And if it turned out that we need to have a little special session on this to accommodate all the interested parties, we can work out a calendar fix for you, I'm sure.
Okay, we will work on that.
Director Vanderlyn.
Hello. Could we add GameSense quarterly update? February 1st was looking kind of slim, but it looks like it's starting to fill up. But if we could add it to February 1st, that would be great.
Read the GameSense? Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else for under review or something you thought of that should go on the calendar? All right, commissioners, are you all set? Thank you, and thank you, Commissioner Skinner, for raising an item. It is 5 of 11, almost holiday party time. Again, I want to thank all those who are making the magic happen downstairs. We appreciate your efforts. And for those who aren't here today, we'll miss you. And I'll let my fellow commissioners close out, but I just want to wish you a very nice holiday week and really the best wishes for 2024 if you're not going to be here later this morning. Commissioner O'Brien.
Just wishing everybody happy holidays, no matter what you're celebrating. And I hope everybody can take a break and rest and relax and enjoy over the next couple of weeks. it's been a lot of work the last, year and a half. And so hopefully we can start to breathe. So just wishing everybody the best.
Commissioner Hill.
No, a big thank you to the staff and happy holidays to you all.
Commissioner Skinner.
Happy holidays to everyone. Hug your loved ones. Get lots of that in over the next few weeks.
I know that you're going to be happy to have somebody home. And then Commissioner Maynard.
I join my fellow commissioners. I've found that every year that goes by, I'm becoming more like Clark Griswold, but that's okay. I think it's a wonderful time. And I do want to say, I don't know, is this the last meeting before Heather leaves?
Well, that is a really good point because we are going to be honoring Heather downstairs. But that was going to be my next closing point. So this is a good time to mention Heather.
I will just say publicly, I know we're going to do this downstairs, embarrass Heather, but Heather, you've been fantastic. I said this to Karen Wells too when she was departing, but when I got this appointment, I got a few text messages and there were groups of people they said you're going to love working with, and one of those was you, and I got that from my friends over at the MCAD. So thank you for all the work that you've done. Thank you for preparing us, making us look a lot better than we are, and doing everything that you do, and we're going to miss you.
Thanks, Commissioner.
So now we're going to go back again. Commissioner O'Brien.
I'm not going to double down. I already did this to you last time, Heather, and made you take your camera off. But everything that Jordan said is true. I think, despite, the loss of Loretta, there was a lot of stability and confidence in you. We have it in Caitlin as well, but you brought a lot of stability to the process, particularly over the last 6 months. You've been very helpful in the ED screening committee. And I know we're not that far away, so I know that we will be seeing each other outside of this office. And I'm pretty confident we'll probably circle back at some point in public service over the next decade or so. So happy holidays, enjoy the time off, and stay in touch.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Hill.
Heather, I'm going to miss you dearly, not only for our professional talks, but for our personal talks that we have regarding families and things of that sort. You have been a ray of sunshine wherever you go in this agency, and you're going to be missed by all, and certainly by me. Again, I will miss dearly our conversations that we have on a regular basis. I hope you're the very best in your next endeavor.
Commissioner Skinner.
Oh boy. So fun fact, I was on the hiring team with Loretta Lilios and interviewed Heather, and hands down, she was the best candidate. So I'm grateful for the insight that I got in really understanding then what Heather would be bringing to the table here at MGC. It's been wonderful to work with you, first as a colleague in the IEB and now as commissioner, and really sad to see you go, but excited to see what you will do next. And we will stay in touch. And thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your talks. As Commissioner Hill said, we both have teenage daughters that we swapped stories around. So Heather, I wish you the best. Thank you for everything you've done for the IEB and for MGC.
And Heather, we weren't going to let you escape a public send-off. I think all of your colleagues are really looking forward to acknowledging you downstairs. There's a holiday party, and then also recognition always of all the colleagues this time, but particularly you as you leave. I have to say that, Heather just stepped into the interim IEB director position, but she has been a tremendous chief enforcement counsel. for, you know, a good 2.5 years. And as we all know, during a very, very busy time. And I have to point out that while it was a really, really busy time over the last 1.5 years, Commissioner O'Brien, I'm going to remind you, it's been a pretty busy period over the last 5 years as we look about. And so that's both the bad news and the good news, is that the commission's work offers a great deal of opportunity, really interesting issues. And Heather, I know that you've had a good taste of those complex issues that arose. You developed great relationships with the outside stakeholders. They liked working with you very much. Our outside legal team, as well, of course, our inside legal team really enjoyed working with you. You know, I know that you and Loretta had a great team relationship, and she relied on you to fill the shoes that she left as Chief Enforcement Counsel, and you did that so smoothly. And then you took on this bigger position while doing the other, not lost on any of us. And so, you know, I've commended you publicly in person about how right away you managed some really complex matters around cybersecurity, all new, while also building those important stakeholder relationships. You did it so nimbly and so fairly, you know, with a great deal of empathy, but also that, you know, kind of fierce work that you have in you. And I like that combination a whole lot. You know, being both fierce and empathetic is a great combination. And so I'm going to miss working with you. If I understand correctly, that what's tugging you are those issues that I think many of us who raise families during demanding jobs, those issues tug at us. And I know that they'll always be exactly the right spot for your professionalism and all your family. And I just wish you and your family the very, very best. And I'm going to be keeping up track of some field hockey stats going forward. As I watch the your daughter's progression, and I'm just wishing her the very, very best.
Thank you so much, Chair and Commissioners. Really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure to work with this team, and I really appreciate the opportunity, and I wish everybody happy holidays, and looking forward to talking more before I sign off. Thank you again.
Great. We'll do it over whatever the menu is. So with that, to the team, we'll have all of your comments will be reserved for downstairs. Everybody can have a chance to wish Heather well, but we are just, again, happy holidays to everyone, and to Heather Hall, the very best. All right, I need a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Whoop, second.
I didn't know who gave me the second. Was that you, Commissioner Skinner?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, second. I'm sorry. I moved.
Oh, I thought we moved
moved.
simultaneously, so I think she's first and I'm the second.
Okay, for the record, Commissioner Skinner moved and Commissioner O'Brien seconded. Thank you so much. Commissioner O'Brien.
Aye.
Commissioner Hill.
Aye.
Commissioner Skinner.
Aye.
Commissioner Maynard.
Aye.
I vote yes. 5-0. Thanks, everyone. See you in a bit.